England have just lost back-to-back finals, and Gareth Southgate just resigned as manager. Let's talk about this. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, I'm JT, and today we're going to be doing a kind of deep dive into England's performances in the past few tournaments under manager Gareth Southgate. Let's just say he has pretty unorthodox tactics, which you may never know may actually work. If you are new around here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Otherwise, Gareth Southgate will manage your favorite club next. I'm not kidding. Okay, let's run it back to Euro 2020. It's June 13th, 2021, and England finally get their revenge on Croatia from the 2018 World Cup, winning 1-0. Fair, Croatia also played a good game. Then, a draw against Scotland 0-0? What? Czechia could beat these guys, but somehow you guys can't? That's weird, but okay, we move on. Finally, they play Czechia and win 1-0 early on, which is expected. They went on to win the group and went on to play Germany, winning 2-0 with a good performance. This is also when the world started to really hate England because they made fun of a little girl crying. English fans are something else, man. They can have really funny things to say, or they can do things like this. I don't get it. Quarterfinals, and they play Ukraine, beating them 4-0. Easy match to win. Let's move on. Now, the semifinals was the point everybody hated England even more. During the dying minutes of the game, Raheem Sterling dives like he's at the pool and wins England a penalty. Even with a VAR check, they couldn't see that. You can't possibly make these things up. When setting up for the pen, somebody shone a laser at Denmark keeper Kasper Schmeichel's eyes. It's saved, then tapped in by Kane, but what a sad way to move on. England win 2-1. Now, the final. All eyes were on Italy to humble England and be community heroes. England would take the lead in under 5 minutes with Kieran Trippier's lofted cross for Luke Shaw, and they just needed to keep this lead for 90 minutes now. But you clicked on this video, so you should know that things did not go well for England. Leonardo Bonucci scores in the second half, and the lead is instantly gone, just like that. They play through extra time, and then came penalties. You know what? Y'all know what happened already. Italy won due to Gigi Donnarumma's penalty heroics. Overall, England had a sensational Euros that year, despite losing, so expectations were high going into the World Cup. I would be laughing if you said they did better. Now, speaking of the 2022 World Cup, England got an easy group, with USA, Iran, and Wales. They won 2 and drew 1 to the US. So, on to the knockouts. They beat Senegal 3-0, but their next opponent wasn't so easy to play. It was none other than Kylian Mbappe and current champions France. Flash forward, and France were up 2-0. However, there was a chance that could be converted from the penalty spot. Kane steps up to take it, and he skies it to space. Rumor is that it is still making its way down. Could be any day now if I'm honest. And there goes England's World Cup hopes. It was in fact not coming home. But on the positive side, they now have lots of time to prepare for the next Euros and redeem themselves, as they can try out new tactics and experiment with new players. They played a bunch of friendlies against the likes of Brazil, Belgium, and Iceland. They started with a 1-0 loss against Brazil. I mean, they should do better there. They had a literal kid up front. A 2-2 draw with an aging Belgium team with no Kevin De Bruyne. And what's this? A 1-0 loss against Iceland? Where have I seen an upset like this before? Look, there is no way a team with Harry Kane and Phil Foden gets beat by a team like Iceland, especially when they had less possession and less shots. This must have brought Southgate's squad confidence down a pretty good bit. Let's just say that's exactly what happened next. It's June of 2024 and the Euros are here again. England are put in Group C with Slovenia, Denmark, and Serbia. First, they play Serbia, and after going 1-0 up, they decide to park the bus and not go for any more goals. Why? Then, the same thing happens against Denmark, but Denmark actually score. Last game against Slovenia now. They just need a win to go through, and oh yeah. Again, I don't regret not watching the whole match, if you know what I mean. England reached the round of 16, where they played underdog Slovakia. England were playing their usual non-attacking football, which they paid the price for later on, after Ivan Schron scored to make it 1-0. However, in the 5th minute of extra time, so the last minute of the game, Jude Bellingham scores a bicycle kick to send the 3 Lions to extra time, where Harry Kane scores to beat Slovakia 2-1. Next up, Switzerland. They play out another snooze fest, but win on penalties and face the Dutch. This Dutch team is no joke either, especially with the likes of Xavi Simons and Cody Gakpo. The Dutch drew first blood, but their efforts were wiped out with a penalty converted by Harry Kane. This is the softest tackle ever, I'm telling you this now. No way this was given as a penalty. It's near the end of the game, and I've just witnessed the rarest thing to ever occur. Gareth Southgate has subbed Harry Kane. Ollie Watkins goes on to score in the 91st minute to send England to back-to-back Euro finals, but this was not going to be easy as they were playing Spain, who's a huge tournament favorite that played entertaining football, unlike England. And by the first sentence I mentioned in this video, they lost 2-1. 16-year-old Lamine Yamal assists Nico Williams for the first goal, then Cole Palmer scores this absolute banger from 20 yards out. Is it finally coming home? Okay, we all know this answer. In the dying minutes of the game, Marc Cucurella sets up Mikel Oyarzabal for a tap-in that sealed England's fate as bottle jobs. They had 2 chances and blew them both. How often do you see this in football? Finally, 2 days after the final, Gareth Southgate stepped down from England management. Anyways, the point is, England's boring to watch. 90% of the time, they go up 1-0 and nothing more, which pains me to see, considering England are one of my favorite international squads with the players they possess. I'm sure everyone wants to see entertaining ball with many goals and attacking runs, like the Croatia-Albania game for example. Sure, they get a point or 3, but at what cost? This is the football equivalent of a drug dealer buying their 3rd Lamborghini while you have to work a 9 to 5 and try to be a functioning member of society. Sure, they get loads of cash, but now they have to worry every single day about the feds trying to catch them. For those of you who don't get it, Gareth Southgate is the equivalent to the drug dealer in this case. I know it's a bit extreme, but I think this is the best way to get my point across. England definitely has the potential to deliver an entertaining match, especially with the players they have. Oh, and that brings me to the players they pick. How has Southgate not picked Fikayo Tomori, who was easily one of the best defenders in Serie A couple seasons back? Or Jack Grealish, who's better than Foden on the left wing, because Foden doesn't play there, he plays best as a number 10. Also, why did he only pick 1 left back, but 3 right backs? Guess bro wasn't planning on Luke Shaw to get injured for the 70th time in a row. Lots of people say that Gareth has favorites, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. Harry Kane, one of the world's best strikers, is shown to be out of form, but he still starts over Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney. Or not starting Cole Palmer, who was one of the best players in the Premier League and carried Chelsea. Here he is with significantly better players to work with, and he's not given the freedom to do anything. Gareth Southgate has also made some very interesting lineup choices as well. Starting at the back, you have Kieran Trippier, a right back, playing on the left. He's also had Trent Alexander-Arnold, another right back, playing in the midfield. He may not be the best defensively, but he can put in a good cross from the flank. So putting him in the midfield makes absolutely no sense. There are also some players who had a good season that struggled to see the pitch. Cole Palmer had only 19 minutes in all the group stage matches, 22 goals in 34 appearances for Chelsea by the way. Anthony Gordon also had an exceptional season for Newcastle and was the best English left winger last season. Guess how many minutes he played? Less than 5. Like, come on now, that's just straight up disrespectful. At this point, Southgate probably goes up to him and says, I have no use for you, but I'm not dumb enough to pick Raheem Sterling either. But still come to practice. And finally, we need to talk about the number 9 spot. Whenever Harry Kane gets tired, it's time to sub. Common knowledge, right? Well, not really. Southgate has rarely used Ollie Watkins, despite scoring a game winner, who was a genuine player of the season contender, or Ivan Toney, who plays like he was never suspended in a span of 5 months. Gareth Southgate just hasn't learned from his past mistakes in previous games. The 2026 World Cup is also around the corner, so do you think that'll be another disappointing performance, or will something change? I think it's fair if I say the 3 Lions have nobody to blame but themselves this year. Also, who's going to be the next England manager? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So yeah, have a good day and peace.